Good Sunday morning. We're back with Inside Tennessee, talking to Randy Boyd, the president of the University of Tennessee System. Don Bosch, you have a question.
Randy, I think everybody is incredibly pleased with your actions as president of the university, and as twice alum and involved, I thank you for your service to the university. Some people, though, have raised with me, and I thought it was interesting, you've been wildly successful in business and with radio systems in particular as one of your ventures that have done really well. You've recently sold that to John Compton. John Compton is the chair of the University of Tennessee Board of Trustees and the person that will lead the discussions about your contract renewal, bonuses, the things that ordinarily go along with that. You still serve on your board with Radio Systems. How would you address the perception? Because I know you well enough to know that you would never let it become a real conflict, but how do you address the perception of conflict there, both with whatever role you might maintain with Radio Systems, but more importantly, your role as president of UT with John as president of the board?
Well, there's a lot of times that people can be doing two different things, but they're not necessarily in conflict. And I'm not sure exactly how one would be able to frame a conflict in this particular case. So John didn't buy my company. His firm, CD&R, did. They manage funds for lots of big pension funds and other people. He's got 26 something different partners. So he couldn't overpay me for my business so that I would work for UT for free. They would not let him do that. So from that perspective, there's no conflict there. And here, I'm working for free. So I'm not sure, how I guess usually if there's a conflict of interest, somebody's getting some kind of benefit as a result. And so I don't think either of us is getting an additional benefit for that additional relationship. Two people serving in two different ways. Hopefully also I should highlight that our board of trustees work terribly hard, including John, and they don't get paid. It's one of the things that I'm always inspired by at the University of Tennessee, how many people give so much back to this university free of charge. I'm just one of those. But again, with this particular case, there's no conflict because nobody's actually getting any personal gain or benefit.
Okay.
Randy, one of the things that I realized recently was that the ACT and SAT scores are optional through 2025, I think. Do you all expect that could affect the caliber of the students that we're getting at the university and system-wide?
The quality of our students high. We've got an incredible number of strong applicants every year. We do intend to continue to have students send in ACTs or ACTs, but we waived it as a requirement last year and then this year because of some students having a difficulty being able to take the ACT. We did say that we were going to reevaluate every year up to another 5 years or till 2025, but we probably misinterpreted. And some people thought that we were saying that we're not going to look at them at all for the next 5 years. Every year we're going to reevaluate and then determine if the following year it's something that we could continue to waive. But the caliber of our students continues to remain extremely high, and we'll continue to make it so.
And talk about
Randy, I'll ask you. I'm sorry.
That's good. I just want to follow up on the numbers of students in the system. Are they remaining stable? Do you want them less? Do you want to grow? What's the feeling on the Board of Trustees at this point in time about growth at our university?
No, thank you for that question. We want to grow, and we're determined to be one of the fastest growing university systems in the country. And the way we do that, or why we want to do that, is because we want to provide more talent for our state. That includes recruiting Tennesseans into our campuses so that they can go back to their homes and provide the workforce that our communities need. Also bringing people in from other states that get an education here and then want to stay in our state and contribute. Every state is competing for workforce. The university can be a magnet to bring workforce in and train it for our state. So we're determined to grow, and I'm also excited to report that this year we will have another record enrollment following the last 2 years' record enrollment. While the rest of the country and most universities are struggling with enrollment, the University of Tennessee is continuing to grow in spite of the pandemic.
So, Randy,
Susan, another question?
Yeah, I'll ask. it's that terrible "who's your favorite child" question, but what's the one thing that you're most excited about that's happening now in the university system that maybe our public doesn't know?
That would be impossible to answer. I'll just highlight a couple of things I've been talking about recently. I'm really excited about the University of Tennessee's UT Southern, our new campus in Pulaski. Since they changed over from Martin Methodist College to UT Southern, applications are up 240%. This was a region of our state in which people didn't go to college because there wasn't any affordable public higher education in their area. If they did go to a four-year public school, they would cross the border to go to Alabama. There's no worse fate that can happen to our children than to have to go to Alabama for their education.
Thank you.
By being able to creating a public education, a university there in Pulaski, we can put a firewall on that border, and it's demonstrated already incredible reception to the new campus by being a UT campus. UT Health Science Center is creating dental clinics across the state to help poor and indigent people in rural areas to be able to get free or low-cost dental care, and at the same time training our dental students. Those are the two things off the top of my head, but I can't pick favorites because there are so many positive things. It would be more than we'd ever have time to talk about.
Thank you for the Alabama comment, and remember that your boss, the governor, is an Auburn grad.